Hello and welcome to WordPress. Yay! So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to give you an overview of the things in your dashboard that you need to know about. Some of these things that you see in the back of my dashboard are not necessarily going to be what you see in your own. So to alleviate that, we're just going to talk about the things that are important for you. So when you log into your dashboard, this is what you will see. And as you can see, if I were to hover over this and let's just say I'm going to right click it, then all of a sudden in another tab, my website will open. And this that we're looking at right now is actually the website that you're on. I am building this website, and as I'm building it, I'm making recordings for you. So talk about multitasking. So the first thing that we're going to do is whenever you have an update, it's going to show up right here. And usually it will have a little, number beside it of how many things you need to update. But let me tell you that if you are not subscribing to my monthly maintenance package, then I do suggest that you actually make sure that your website is kept up to date at all times. So if you have any questions about that, let me know and I'll tell you the resources that I recommend if you are not going to invest in the lifetime support that I offer. So we're just going to go down this, and the first thing that we're going to look at is post. So what's the difference between a post and a page? So the difference between a page and a post is pretty simple. Basically, a page is gonna be static and a post, it's going to change, right? So every time a new post comes out, the other one goes below it. So that is a sample blog post. So what I want to show you in here is if you just click on the post section, and then if you wanted to just add a new one, you could click add new. Also, if you had an existing post, you could edit it from here. And depending on how your post is set up, let's just assume that it's using the DV builder. And then in this area right here, you would double click those triple lines, and this is where the module would open up, and this is where you would start writing. So you would write whatever you want right here, and you could format it in any way. Like if you wanted this to be a heading 1, then you could do that, or if you wanted to use a heading 2, then you would use this, and then after that you could just start writing your paragraph. So I'm starting my paragraph right here. I don't know. And then you could also change, I know I can't type, you can also change the colors, and the way that you would do that is, so maybe you're not seeing it, but you hit this toggle as far as the color goes. Sorry about that. And then in here I usually will add your custom colors based on your brand, as long as I designed your website. And that's where you could change the color of whatever you're working on. I do recommend that you really you don't use the same color as your links for your text. And a lot of people, they like to use, color their headlines, which is perfectly fine. But if you have green hyperlinks, then don't color it green, because then it's going to look like a link, and we don't want that. We want it to stand out. I mean, honestly, my preference is not to use colored text, but a lot of people like to use it, so I'll show you how to change it. And then when you're done, well, you could just review it right here so that you could see what it's going to end up looking like once it goes live. And this is the different screen sizes, so you could see how it will appear on the different screen sizes. and then you would just say save and exit. If you wanted to add a image, you could add it right here, and you would then go and find an image. So that image was actually from my Facebook group, but I'm just going to use it as a sample, and once it loads, I'm just going to say set image, and now you'll see this is the featured image. And if I say update, then everything will be updated, and then now this blog post will be live. But also remember that you can actually publish this at a later date. So if I wanted to actually schedule this out for the 25th of January, then I would put in the date and the time. It's basically taking the time and using what time it is now. So now it's scheduled. So you see right here, it's scheduled to be live on that date, but we can still view it, and then you can see what it's going to look like. So now it's set up to where it has my image for my Facebook group over here, but then it also has the text underneath it, and it has some sample comments. And I don't have this website really set up for blogging because it's not meant to be a blog, it's meant for training. But now you can see what they look like, and again, then you could go in there and edit the post. If we go back, let's go back a step one, and let's say we want to do a quick edit, right? And things that you could do in a quick edit, let's say we want to change the title of this post to blog post sample, and the slug is like the hyperlink. So blog post sample, and then you could change who the author is. You could allow comments or not allow them, and you could make it a sticky post. And a sticky post is where it would stay at the very top of the blog post. So remember I said if you have several blog posts and then you have a new one, then the new one replaces the old one and it just kind of pushes them down. But if you make this post sticky, then even the new posts would go underneath it. So yeah, that is how you would do that. And then if you had multiple categories, you could adjust the categories really quickly by going into quick edit versus opening the whole post up. It's just an easier way for you to do it. So now you see it changed the whole title of my blog, and it changed the hyperlink that goes with it. And in order to, I'm going to sum up the rest of this video with categories. So in order to add a category, what we would do is, let's say we're going to go in here and we're going to change this one from uncategorized, we're going to change it to blogging, and then we're going to add the slug and we're going to update it. And let's add another one. Let's add design, and then we'll just add design slug, and you can just keep adding things like this as you want. So you would just create your categories, and the reason why categories are important is so that you can, it's not important when you first start out, but when you start to get a bunch of posts in there and somebody, maybe they read one post and they really like it, if you're displaying your categories, then it would be easy for them to then find like items. So it's a good way to really sort your things. So now, because I changed the uncategorized category to blogging, then it is selected. But also I could select design as well, because maybe I feel like it goes into both of them. And that is all about blog posts. So let me know if I missed anything, and I will do the next one will be all about pages.